Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I am Or Zabludowski, co-founder and CEO from Flexor. Flexor is a data infrastructure company focused on structuring unstructured data, making all kinds of textual data available for data teams for AI and BI tasks. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Naresh Dulam, Vice President of Software Engineering at JPMorgan Chase.
Thanks for having me here.
We're now in the era of connected systems. It's about speed and automation and making processes more efficient. But I think it's also important to think about the risk, the human factor, and how us humans combine as humans in the loop in some of these processes, and then maybe get to some practical advice about it. So working with highly regulated industries from all kinds of perspectives, like talking about healthcare and financial services, what do you see are the biggest risks that we need to manage when we talk about deploying AI systems?
Yeah, so the most significant governance risks are the explainability, how you are coming to that decision. That's very important. That's a one challenge I could think of. Another one is the transparency and as well as ensuring the compliance, right? And if you see that one, if you take any agent or model, if you see its output is black box, it's very difficult to explain to the regulators or auditors how did you derive, how this model derived to that solution, right? So that's one challenge. This opacity can triggering the regulators the scrutiny. They are thinking that okay, this system is not working, and of course this leading to the penalties for these organizations, and of course the reputational damage that is causing that. That's one challenge. That's one challenge I could think of it. And additionally, these AI-driven automations unintentionally amplify the bias hidden in the historical data, because these models are trained on the historical data. Maybe that's biased. So then they will enforce this, creating a ethical or compliance risk for your system that we are building on it. So the other thing is like, so ensuring the clarity around how AI decisions are made, maintaining a robust audit trails, as well as proactively addressing these biases are some of the crucial way to mitigate these risks that we are having with these AI systems. I'm sure that it's not with the AI system, it's with any technology you have to address this one. I would say that the problems are not different, but they are showing up in a different way, but the problems fundamentally they are the same, because we are the humans are same. We never, of course we evolve, but our fundamental challenges are same, right? So with the systems also the same. AI systems, maybe tomorrow I don't know what will come.
Yes. So the foundations of managing risks remain the same. So there's understanding the risk, there's risk mitigation, and how quickly you respond once you figure out that something is wrong. And the problem with lack of explainability, lack of lineage and visibility is that, and that every engineer can tell, it's hard to shift behaviors. It's hard to make changes that will consistently produce better outcomes when you don't know what's causing them. So these systems have this vicious cycle of not being explainable about the results, triggering concerns, leading to a challenge in fixing them or changing their behaviors. And that brings us to another important point, which is the most common risk mitigation, which is a human in the loop. Now,
Yeah.
I think that every data leader, every AI leader right now has a question in mind. How do I strike the balance between automation and efficiency and having humans in the loop to manage the risks? Because if I lean to one side dramatically, I'll either lose all the benefits or put myself in a risk that it's hard to quantify and how to manage.
Striking the right balance, it basically involves having a clear decision boundaries. That's what I would think. So enterprises should establish an automated thresholds when they are designing these systems, like when they should go for automated decisions like the AI systems, uh, when it involves the regulator or the business users to be the human in the loop to be involved. So having that clear boundary, that adhere to the regulators or complaints as well as your business needs is the way to balance the uh, human oversight and letting these AI systems or agents to operate. So, and also we need to have these we need, always we should have the make sure that human involvement for use cases that are very highly sensitive, or but even if the most of the cases like the borderline you have an edge cases, right? So we need to identify them for them as well, the human trigger process, like the system should trigger then a system to human to bring review the process. And of course, the feedback loops is the one of the great way to improve your AI systems over a time, right? So if you have the feedback loop, then your models or system can refine their threshold levels depends on the risk factor you have it, right? So that's another thing. And so these feedback loops basically ensuring your agents to improve over a time without sacrificing the compliance and safety that everybody is looking to achieve without losing the control on the business process, right? So the ideally, I would say that automation, that routine tasks should be handled by the AI, but while at the same time, while humans oversight and provide the strategic decision or contextual interpretations they provide to these systems, so that overall control is in the humans where the critical decisions are made, but a routine or maybe a risk, if there was some kind of scenarios, use cases, even if you go outside, if there is an incorrect prediction or incorrect outcome, that should be fine, right? So for those kind of use cases, we can go and fully automate them, but highly regulated industries, they should have the human in the loop. Without that, we cannot achieve the great success with these AI products. And in my experience in the last few years in this regulated industry, I see that one, we think that most of the use cases out from the outside point of view, everything is in a risk prone application, but there are a lot of things those are not risk prone. You can put it that, and we sometimes we think that's not highly regulated industries, we can try and experiment, but they have the very highly regulated things in some use cases. So I would say that one, so each industry has some kind of risks associated with using this AI. But as a expert, as the business expert, you know that where to put the threshold on your AI system. Having that clear boundary will help you to balance the human oversight with AI fully automation.
Yeah. So I think that this is exactly it. We were talking about differential risk management per use case. And when you think about highly regulated industries, you forget that behind every highly regulated industry, there's a huge organization that does all kinds of tasks. And we can have differential adoption and get the benefits without taking all the risk at once, slowly growing into more risky and more complex use cases. And we also tend to forget that humans make mistakes too. And sometimes we don't have that double check in place. Now, tying this back into the more traditional data worlds, sometimes we have large language models or all kinds of AI agents incorporated into different parts of our data pipelines. And now when we have data lineage and data governance and controls on what data impacts which business application, we can start managing this risk by thinking about outcomes. So if we extract financial information from PDFs, and this information feeds our pricing models, and these pricing models are directly connected to our revenue, messing them up might be of a big impact to the company, and we might need to double check them. But if this is about an internal chatbot that just provides standard information to employees about non-critical topics, we might be able to move without these guardrails in place. And I think that this is maybe a good closing notes. We can talk about some practical advice if you have any insights to share with the audience about how you think about this differential risk management, or how you think about incorporating different kinds of guardrails. That would be a good time to share that too.
Oh, yeah. So I would say that firstly, prioritize the governance frameworks that address the data quality and the metadata standardization and complaints from the day one. Most of the times we think that these are the later point of time we will take care of that one. But I would say that shift left, not the shift right. These things, governance frameworks, having a standard governance frameworks. And the second one is like invest in scalable infrastructures like cloud native architectures, vector databases, and contextual search technologies that effectively handles this unstructured data at scale. It's not only POC level, but at the scale. So the other thing is like fostering the cross-functional collaboration between the teams, like IT teams, compliance team, and business teams to maintain the continuous alignment on the AI initiatives is very, very important. And of course, these business is constantly evolving, right? So having an alignment and having a regulatory standard between all these parties, stakeholders, will help us to shift your have a same one kind of mindset, like a singular mindset and a focused, aligned mindset of adopting the AI. That I can think of it. And holistic, like it's not about building a pilot projects. So you have to build a pilot project. They can go to the production, but having a strong governance around is the way for these pilots to sustain in the long term in the when they are deployed into the production grade or when they expose to the users, right? So again, it's all goes by the having a very strong governance frameworks will help you to make any product that drive the innovations, and that will make it to sustain for a long time, and of course safe.
Yeah. And I think that this is great advice. Begin with the end in mind. You know that you need to have governance in place to get this project to production. Begin with thinking data governance. You need to have this access, wide access. You need to have this cooperation between different units. Have them in the first place so you can get to
Yeah.
the outcomes. Well, that was an exciting discussion. So thank you so much, Naresh, for joining me today and for the exciting interview. And for more interviews and insights, I recommend that you visit cdomagazine.tech. Thank you again, Naresh.
Thank you, R.